Well, hello all you beautiful peeps out there in the interwebs. This is Tashlan with Child of the Dog and Putnam Pie the Pussycats, and we are playing Creativerse. Yay! I'm like really super excited and I don't know why. It's just one of those days. Yesterday was a really good day and today I'm having another really good day. So I thought while I'm feeling all cheery and chirpy, I will do some recording. And we're still working on this very small little blueprint that I I chose to do. Yeah, I always like to start people off small and gentle and no. We want to go large or go home, right? Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, I've got burst fill turned off because I find it a little bit chaotic and I find that I seem to miss things. It's quite good. I find later on, if you think you've missed something, then you just happen to aim in the random direction and it'll find things that you can't see. So it's useful for that, absolutely. But I suppose I don't know, I kind of like doing it this way. You know, oh, come on. How many times is it going to skip over that torch? No. Mouse sensitivity and all that, right? So yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing. Not quite sure what I need to update all of you wonderful peeps on. Things are going well. It's getting closer and closer to well, I'm not a big fan of Christmas, but I'm not a humbug about it either. I don't think, ooh, Christmas is a humbug or anything like that. I don't personally celebrate it that much, and I do find it kind of annoying that public transport stops and, you know, it's like an enforced day at home sort of thing. But I do like a lot of the spirit that goes with it. Yeah, I don't like the whole sort of gimme attitude that you quite often get. Is like, you know, what am I going to get out of this and what gifts and that sort of thing. I'm very much a home crafter, so I'm looking out for torches because I've left torches to mark my way for where I've been digging. There we go, there's a torch. And you know, I do like to make gifts for people. My mother does the same sort of thing. She does a lot of quilting and she makes some beautiful things. She doesn't think she can, but I call her the applique because, you know, wow, she makes some lovely things. She takes her time to do it, and I said to her, I said, well, that's perfectly fine, Ma, because, you know, there's no sort of quilting police or anything. Oh, keep up. Thanks for spawning right under my nose. Oh, got a recipe here. I think I've got that one. Or maybe not. Do I not have a red adobe wall? Really? Yeah, I do. The Chizard scared you by chanting red mud in the mirror until you realised it was just looking at your new walls. Oh dear, I do like those little hint of humour that runs through everything. It's great. Yes, anyway, I was talking about my mum, and she's made me a lovely little, I've got a little breakfast bar in my kitchen, and she made me a lovely little sort of autumn coloured runner. Looks like a very French cafe, and she was like, oh, don't look at all, because I tease her. I say, oh, I'm going to look at all the wrong bits and where you've gone wrong. She says, oh, don't, because I go wrong so often. And I'm like, actually, you may think you go wrong very often, but I've got no complaint. I love what you've done. So yeah, so we're a bit of a sort of a makey type family. So I've got paper Christmas trees and coloured in baubles all around my house. I can't really put a Christmas tree up anyway, because pudding and pie. That's very, very good idea when you have cats, and this is an element of this is me being a bit sarcastic. To put up a tree with lots of dangly things. It's like, no. So to save my sanity and also to sort of protect them to a large extent, because I don't want them to sort of clamber up a tinsel tree and get tangled up or hurt or bite through electrical cables or anything like that. So yes, it's all stuff that can't hurt animals. A very animal friendly Christmas. And I'm cool with that, absolutely. My animals, they come first, so their safety is paramount for me. I'm going this week actually for a Christmas meal. We're going into town. Mum and I are going to spoil ourselves. We're not doing it. We're not going to meet up over Christmas at all, so it's going to be very quiet for me. It's going to be pretty much, I think, a lot of the same old. Oh, I love that truck. I like the way he glows in the dark. That's quite cool. But yeah, for me, it's all about getting together, not necessarily about gift giving or anything like that. I don't even worry about, so, oh, let's have a special dinner. No, let's just, why make washing up for everybody? Have I sort of reached the end of the line here? Oh no, and that one? No, that one is. Okay. I'm trying to sort of get a lot of stone without actually making a very stark area, because this is right next to where I'm building. It's convenient for picking up the stone that I want, and I mean the stone that I want is because it was in this area. Is that stoneception? I don't know. But just to pick up some more, and I know it's boring, which is why I'm sort of mumbling on about Christmas. Yeah, Christmas for me, because I was brought up, I suppose essentially you could say, in a multi-faith household. For me, it doesn't really matter what you call this festive season. I mean, I even did a talk recently about why do we have a holiday at this time of year, and it was quite interesting that it sort of goes back to, you can take it back to the Romans with Saturnalia and also Juvenalia, and a lot of sort of Scandinavian myths as well, and even about there's a juvenile god called Mithra, whose birthday was apparently on December the 25th. So it was very interesting sort of finding out about this time of year, different cultures and that sort of thing. So my overriding thing is that no matter what your faith, no matter what you believe or don't believe, just hope that this time of year, with winter making the roads maybe a bit treacherous if you're in the northern hemisphere, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, watch out for things like sunstroke. Just whatever you celebrate, or however you celebrate or don't celebrate, I just hope that it's a good one, that you are safe and happy, and that things are going well for you. And that's my wish, I suppose, 24/7, 365 days a year. But it seems at this time of year you kind of feel you need to sort of say it out loud as well. And so that's what I'm doing. And I'm mumbling because while I find picking up rocks kind of zen, you're probably thinking, picking up rocks. Can you stop picking up rocks, Tashlan? And yes, I will. The thing is, you hollow out a cavern like this. I see this, I think, there's got to be, I don't know, a little dwelling. You got to put something in there. Why not? You've made a space. You could have filled that space, haven't you? It's like, you know, when you have, well, this is what I find, is that I sort of, when I clear up and I'm like, yes, you know, I've got some free space, and before you know it, then a backpack's gone on there, or there's a cup on the table, and you're like, well, so much for that, you know, space I cleared. Us humans seem to find ways of filling those spaces, and yeah, you know, I suppose you could get a bit philosophical there, couldn't you? Go, oh yes, we fill each other's empty spaces, and yeah, meh, enough of that. None of that touchy-feely stuff. Let's not do that. Oh dear, I don't do kindness and cheer. Meh, bah, humbug, and all that. Oh dear. Yes, definitely I am in silly mode. Oh, this is getting interesting. Do I have any of that stacked stone wall? That really is quite a mouthful to say, you know, stacked stone wall. You wouldn't want to say that if you had a few beers, would you? Oh, there's stacked stone wall there. That says me with the worst drunk voice ever. Oh dear me. That was awful. Well, it is what it is. Now, do I have any limestone on me? I do. Well, there's a surprise. I was just thinking, oh, I'm going to go gather again. No. Here's some I prepared earlier. Ta-da! Looks like I'm probably going to have to sort out this little corner because we're kind of building on top of it now. Oh, I'm going to fall on. I can just feel that. So what's down there? Ah! But there is, I think I can safely jump into water. There we go. And let us see if we, did I get any ashen wood and some ashen wood leaves? I did. So can we build up this little tree, I wonder? Let's mess around down here a little bit. This is getting quite imposing. Very interesting. It's kind of nice when you build someone else's build and you have absolutely no idea where it's going. I don't think I've got enough ashen wood leaves on me. I definitely don't have enough. No, definitely don't. Okay, well we'll fill in what we've got. There's a little job here and there. Oh, look at that. Couldn't go with my sense of symmetry there, could you? Oh no! Right, well let's see if what can do with these cacti. Oh, that's a flower. I'm sure I have. I do. Put that there. Yep. Okay. And oops. And that's flower. Sweet. And over here. Oh, okay. Is that a bit of sand? I'm sure I've got sand on me. Sand, yep. Here we go. Put that where those lights are. It's kind of nice to sort of try and now fill in some of this. I'm not going to have all of the... well, I've only got one. Let's shove in that one cactus. Yep. Okay. So we're pretty much done with what we've got there. So we'll have to definitely come back to that. And yeah, as I suspected, I think it's going to sort of link up here somewhere. So this might be a good time to at least... That's strange. I really expected that to go... It's gonna connect somewhere. Okay. Don't fall. Okay, well. That's got me baffled. Yeah, just when you think you've got everything sussed. Hey, that's life, isn't it? When you think you've got it all in hand, and you don't. It might sort of, I don't know. Maybe the water will connect up with it or something. It's all very mysterious. No, I'm not trying to put that there. Slaps in the schnuggum. Well, so yeah, we're getting a fair bit of this building done. And I know I do a lot of sped up versions of this, but I've kind of just wanted to make conversation with you guys today. I just feel like talking to you. And it's strange how I feel the need to explain that. Oh gosh. Yeah, it looks like we're kind of building in this little grotto. Not quite sure what to call it. I was calling it a cave, I think, but would it be considered a grotto? No, 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 thank you. There we go. There. That little sort of thing where you move and it's just the game's slightly lagging. So you go to move and then you don't. So you obviously try again, and then obviously it jumps you forward a bit, and it's like the amount of times I've fallen as a result of that. I tell you. I think the best was when I was doing the floating island blueprint yonks back, and of course it's way up. The amount of times that I was trying to just place a block, and then I'd just do that little one too many pushes forward and boom. And this was I think before Pro came out, so there wasn't a glider. So yeah, fell to my death many times. It was a very good way of collecting death statues. It was like, oh gosh, that was so bad. So yeah, I mean, that's a thing that, you know, sort of a review, I don't know, of the great things that have come out of Creativerse this year. I'd say definitely the glider is up there. That has saved my life many a time. Well, not, you know, not my personal life, but my sprite's life. This little dude. This one. Her life. It's so complicated. Oh dear. And sorry if I broke the immersion there. Broke the fourth wall, made you realise that, you know, the voice is not actually that sprite. So sorry for, you know, oh dear, shattered illusions. Ah, dear me. Oops. Okay, this is... I'm going a bit more quiet because I'm like thinking and concentrating. Just trying to use my brain box. Just a little. I know that's a rare occurrence. Yeah, got there before you lot. Got there before you. There we go. But sometimes I do use the brain box. And I think I'm stopping here because I haven't really built up anything below. So we won't go too far along this way. Just trying to think. Yes, I can think as well. What is that? Is that a gas lamp? I'm sure I had those, didn't I? Can't remember now. I'm sure I did. There they are. Maybe think I was going crazy then for a minute. I'm pretty sure I just moved them up. Ah, there we go. Ah, and then there's a little bit of illumination. Oops, pressed the wrong button there. Sorry, guys. Let's just fill in this little bit with brick. And let's get those two in there. And then, of course, anything that can get in my way will get in my way. And we'll go there. If I've got some mud, I might put that mud in. I've got one mud. Okay. It's one I prepared earlier, because then that might spawn that coral and save me the bother of actually having to gather it up. Anything to make life easier, right? So now I'm just trying to see what height I've taken this up to. So there, it's kind of, I can go one more up, I think. It's getting complicated. I'm having to think and stuff. So I've taken a look at the time and seen how much jibble jabbering I've done, and it's quite possible that just for this week I'm not going to do any sped up stuff. It's a time constraint on that, in as much as I do have quite a lot going on, and I think I've said before that, you know, sort of 20 minutes of footage is minimum of an hour of actual game time. And I think it's nice sometimes just to talk with you guys, and I'm quite happy to bibble on while I'm busy doing this. So I will. Oops! I meant to do that. That was not at all deliberate. That was one of those speed wobbles. Oh, well, we've got one more of those. We can plop that in there. The more I build of this, the more it intrigues me. It's like, what is the function of everything here? I feel like I'm exploring. And I'll worry about putting the liquids in later. So where are we? Okay, so that's all at that level. So all right, here we go. So yeah, I think I'll just say yeah a lot. because I can. Oh dear me. What you guys must think is that, oh, it's Tashlan at it again, whatever. That's it, just whatever. But yeah. Oh, there we go. That little bit where the game pushes you off the edge of a cliff. That's it. The game decides, I had enough of you. You're gone. You're out of here. No more. Don't play this game anymore. You've just got to go off the edge of a cliff. Why do I find those so hard to see? That is really strange. Let's get some more illumination in here. Oh, wow. Really does brighten the place up, doesn't it? That was close. Huh? Oh. One too far. Oversensitive mouse. There we go. I think what I'm going to try and do is go back onto the Steam Workshop, and all of the blueprints that I sort of saw and have built, including this one, I'm going to try and see if I can find them again, so that I can actually credit the the people who've actually built these things originally. If I'd have thought ahead, I would have taken their names straight away, but I didn't, and that's totally my bad. Hold my hands up and say, yeah, I was a stinker, I messed up, and I will do what I can to sort of rectify that, because I do think that I think it's the right thing to do, to credit people with their work. I think that people's creativity needs to be acknowledged. Looks like we're sort of building a bit of a foundation bit here, doesn't it? We're actually getting into structure. This is nice. Oh. Now, do I have... Oh yeah, looks like I do. Can I make... Oh, I can make a few more. No worries. There we go. I was just quiet then because I was like, I'm sure I made more than just 63, and then it occurred to me that it's obviously just put the lowest number there, just to throw me off track. Like, wow, there's a lot of sort of mineral water and stuff. But I think probably putting the liquids in afterwards is going to be easier. Oh, there's a bit of wooden fence, and I'm going out on a limb here. Ooh. Yeah, this looks to me like we've kind of hit sort of main floor level. Oh, excuse me, frog in my throat. How did it get there at all? Oops. Oops. Oh, I thought we'd get... Just when I thought I got it sussed. I'm going to stop predicting now. Okay, well this is where it sort of goes into the volcanic bit. I'm enjoying this build. Of course, I'm probably building here and there's going to be stuff underneath and I'll fall or hit my head or... but it looks like we're joining up this bit, and this is good. Oh, there we go, yeah. Oops. I know there's more of you. Right, here we go. Okay, so we've kind of met in the middle. Okay. And it's a very interesting structure. I have a very strong tendency, and it's one that I have to actively concentrate on not doing, is I'm very symmetrical when I do a build, and so sometimes I have to really consciously go higgledy-piggledy. So for me, it's really nice when I encounter something like this where I'm kind of, yep, got it sus because of symmetry, and then I haven't because it isn't. And I like that because I think mainly we are sort of tuned in to things being symmetrical. But we also quite often find just a little bit of asymmetry sort of interesting, and so it is something that catches our attention quite a lot, and that's where I think, you know, when we all sit here and go, oh, that was a brilliant build, I found that really interesting, and I think we often find them interesting because of the asymmetry, because they've done something that's not predictable, and I often feel that when I'm doing my builds that I'm being incredibly predictable, and this is why quite a lot of the time I'll experiment and sort of try and put things together that look nice together, but that you wouldn't necessarily immediately think went well together. And I've seen that a lot of good Creativerse builders seem to do that. I mean, I've gone around a lot of builds, and I'm going to definitely do a shout out to the Creative Crew build squad on this. Is where I go around and look at their builds, and I'll think, you know, I would never have put that block and that block together, but they did, and wow, well done, it looks really good. And I think that this is what is nice about creative games like this, is it sets limitations in as much as you have to work with the tools that you're given. But what you can do within those limitations is absolutely astonishing. It's brilliant for me to see the high levels of human creativity, and I'm all for that. I'm all for encouraging people to try new things. I mean, this is what I've done with my mum with her quilting, because she was never encouraged, and yeah, when she first started out, I think I kind of felt harsh, because I would be a bit critical of her, and I'd say, well, you're going to have to unpick that because it's not right. And she's like, well, I don't have time for that. I'm like, well, yes, you do. You have all the time in the world, but you can't, you know, offer that as a gift to somebody, or, you know, want to sell that to somebody, because it's not right. And I mean, I've had that happen to me, sort of within my sort of job, where I've kind of gone, nope, that's good enough, and they've gone, are you sure? And I've had to go back, and it's been the same with my writing. It's like, yep, that's it, brilliant, it's going to be a masterpiece, and someone's gone, well, no, actually, that doesn't work. And I've gone, well, what do you know? You know, hump. But then you go back and you're like, no, actually, you're right. It was a clumsy sentence, or I've used the wrong word, or the wrong context, and I think we need to learn to do that. We need to keep trying and keep working at it, and we also need to evaluate our progress, and not be afraid to make a mistake. I have a friend, his dad used to be a carpenter, and he said that his dad's always said to him that the person who's never made a mistake has never made anything. And I'm not sure if that's sort of entirely true, but I think that it is in making mistakes that we improve. And I've looked at this in sort of all walks of life, because I often have people say to me, oh, well, you know, I can't draw. And I'm like, well, can you hold a pencil or a pen in your hand? And they've gone, well, yes, of course. And I'm like, well, then you can draw. And then they say, oh, but I mean, well. And I'm like, yes, well, that will take practice. And this is the point. We don't achieve anything without practicing, and we forget, because it's, you know, it was a long time ago, but we had to fall over quite a lot before we learned to walk. We would stand up, fall over, and it was the same when we all learned to write. It's, you know, over and over again, repetition, workbook after workbook filled with, you know, the letter A and the letter B. But because we did it, you know, so long ago for most of us, we forget that it was a learning process, because now it's just sort of part and parcel of who we are. And we kind of forget that in order to achieve anything that we want, we do need to practice at it. And if you really want to do something, you can do anything you like. But you've got to remember, it's not going to come easily to you. It's not going to, you're not just going to wake up one morning and be the next Ludwig van Beethoven or Pablo Picasso. You're not. Yeah, people have said to me that, oh, you probably aspire to be the next J.K. Rowling. And I'm like, no, I aspire to be the best me that I am. And that takes time. And yeah, I make mistakes. And I get pulled up on my mistakes. And that's fine. Because if I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't learn how to fix them, and I wouldn't learn how to be better. And I think it's kind of a life lesson for all of us, is we need to have confidence in what we do, but we also know that we can always do better. So yeah, I went from season's greetings to I don't know, being a bit philosophical there. I think it's going to be one of those days. So yeah, but I would say to everybody, yeah, take that with you. Is that yes, I'm fully aware that there are some people who are naturally gifted at certain things, but even those people who have a natural talent for something, they also sit and they practice. And I remember, I mean, my ex-husband, he was pretty much what they would call it, like a guitar maestro. He could pick up practically any string plucked instrument, tune it in and play it. And they kind of said, well, you know, it's just a natural talent. And I'm like, agreed, he has a natural talent, but I've also sat there with him for hours while he's practiced and practiced and practiced, while he's you know, worked on just mastering a single chord or practicing a new kind of tuning. So yeah, I mean, people will just see that end result and go, wow, he's so gifted. And I'm not going to say he wasn't, because he was. But that gift also didn't sort of just spring out of nowhere. He worked hard to achieve that. And yeah, I think people need to take that away. If something's worth doing and worth doing well, then it's worth taking your time over. It's worth putting your effort into it. It's worth putting your heart, your soul, your passion into what you do. And I mean, it used to be when I was growing up that the thing that you'd have to be is like, well, as long as you're rich, then you're successful. And I'm like, well, I'm not rich, but I consider myself to be successful. I'm happy in my life. I'm surrounded by people who care for me and whom I care for. I've got my little rugrats. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm not wealthy. I never will be. I don't want to be. For me, that's not a priority. And I think that you have to find your own groove, the thing that makes you happy, the thing that, you know, when you go to bed at night, you're like, yeah, do you know, today was a good day. And it's different for all of us, because we're all different. And in this day and age, in the world the way it is, there's enough room for us to be ourselves. Simple as. We don't have to be what other people expect us to be. We have the room to grow in ourselves and be what we want to be. And that's fantastic. I think that's amazing. Don't you? And I'm talking so much, I'm actually losing my voice. Yay, says everybody. Yeah, right. Love you too. Oh dear. But I do think, oh dear. Let me just take a sip of water. No. I'm definitely losing my voice. Okay, well, I think that's probably my cue to put an end to today's recording. I think I've done enough for an episode, and I know it probably wasn't the most entertaining episode watching me thinky bunk blocks down. This is intriguing. Grid. Okay, it's going to be fun putting all these liquids down. But we've made some really good progress on this little volcanic lava mountain lair thing. And like I said, I will do my best to try and find the originator of these blueprints, and so I can put their names down in the description box. Oh dear. And oh, I'm sorry, Puds, did I move? Oh, he's decided he wants to go and get some more food for the 10th time today. Because I really feel strongly that I want to credit their work. And hopefully I'll be able to do another episode for next week. It's starting to get a bit more difficult because there's a lot more demands being made on my time with friends and family, and yeah, it's great to be popular, and I don't resent that at all. I'm quite happy to go along with that, but it does mean that it makes my recording time just a little bit difficult, because I do need a little bit of peace and quiet, not the phone endlessly beeping and all this sort of thing. So yeah, I will do my best to keep up with my recording schedule. I do also have a few plans for what I'm going to be doing with my channel in the new year. I'm not going to reveal anything yet, because I'm still trying to iron out a few things. I am going to be doing a end of year roundup collab. Yeah, look at me working with other people, go figure. With a bunch of other girl gamers, and I'm really excited about this. 2 gaming girls have approached me, and there's going to be a few of us getting together, and that's going to be happening really soon. And so I will, when we do that, I will post links to everybody's channels, and yeah, it's going to be a special. So there's that to look forward before the end of the year as well. So, you know, I'm not resting on my laurels. I know I did take a bit of time out, and I think we all need to do that sometimes. We need to be able to recenter ourselves, and I've needed to do that. I know that I am starting to get myself back on track, and I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to doing a few new things. I'm quite excited. I'm leaving this year with twice as many subscribers as I started the year, and that's amazing. I mean, I've hit 80 subscribers. I'd really love to hit 100, and that's sort of my next big milestone goal. But to be at double how I started the year at the end of the year, that's phenomenal, and that's on you guys. That's all you. You know, I put out the content, and you're the ones who watch, who participate, and who like me enough to subscribe to my channel. So thank you so much for, well, just doubling the size of my followers. I'm trying to think of the right word there. Could not think of one. But you know who you are, and you know you're all special to me, and I love you loads. And I'm rambling. Enough. So from me, Tashlan, from Charlie the dog, and from Puddin' and Pie, the pussycats, you know we love you loads. So peace out, peeps.